Tonight, the husband of a Jacksonville court bailiff killed in a DUI crash is opening up about the moments leading up to her death.
Don't be that selfish. Think about what you're doing.
We told you back in 2018 when Kathy Adams was killed by a drunk driver who was sentenced a year later. This month, the jury granted $30.5 million to the family. Our Sydney DeShawn sat down with Jack Adams and shares the family's road to recovery.
Jack and Kathy Adams were in the car along with their 2 children who were in high school during the crash. The Adams family has spent years getting back on their feet and healing. Jack Adams tells me this verdict should send a strong message to drunk drivers.
Our wedding day, it was a great day.
This is Jack and Kathy Adams.
We got married in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We basically eloped.
It's one of Jack's favorite memories.
My wife was a wonderful woman. She was a great mother, a great wife.
Both employed with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Jack was a motorcycle officer for JSO and Kathy was a court bailiff.
Very hardworking, very dedicated to everything in her life.
Her life was cut short in December of 2018.
You're just living life, paying your bills, paying your taxes, being a good citizen, then all of a sudden this happens to you. And you kind of get it's like, why did this happen to us?
The family's life was turned upside down in a matter of seconds when they were driving home from a Mandarin High School championship football game.
They went from one of their highest highs to no doubt their lowest low.
A drunk driver hit Jack, Kathy, and their 2 children.
It was a lot of fog, to be honest with you.
Jack was in a coma for 2 days. He had no feeling from the neck down and a broken neck.
Frankly, about 10 days later is when he found out that his wife had passed away, when he had enough consciousness to be advised of that. And then he's faced with the prospect that he's got to work himself back because now he has to be a single parent.
I'm having to raise 2 children by myself. It was definitely life-altering.
A family fighting to rebuild, missing this smile that lit up the room. The drunk driver, Kim Johnston, was sentenced to 15 years in prison back in 2019.
She made an entire family and ultimately a community victims of her actions that night.
And recently a jury granted $30.5 million to the family.
It just says that they heard this family and they understood their pain and they sent that message.
Just the verdict itself was vindication. We didn't do anything wrong.
It's this husband's call to action. Use available resources and never drink and drive.
If you're not going to think about yourself, your family, think about other families that you might impact by making that decision.
Now, Jack tells me that he does forgive Johnston, and while the jury awarded more than $30 million, the court still needs to enter a formal judgment. Once that happens, the judgment can be legally enforced, allowing the family to pursue payment. That process can take weeks, months, or years, according to the attorney. Sydney DeShawn, First Coast News, on your side.